courts, in Congress, in the streets. Elon Musk is a Nazi Nepo baby.
As you probably saw, Elon Musk and his crew put a gag order on AID employees. They disconnected them from email, which is putting lives at risk around the world. So we are here to enter the building, and so we can hear firsthand from whoever is here at AID, or at least witness firsthand what is happening with this Elon Musk attempted takeover, which will not stand. We will prevail. Let's go.
Oh boy. Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. The video that I'm dropping tonight, in case anybody hasn't heard, it's about what's going on with Elon Musk and the Democrats basically just losing their minds over what he's doing with the department that he was put in charge of, which is DOGE. Okay? And it seems that the more information that Elon Musk uncovers, the Democrats are just losing it more and more. And it's getting to the point that now they're out there protesting en masse, as you can see. I don't know exactly what happened with that, whoever that person that was speaking, that was in front of the camera. I know that behind him was Elon Omar, and who else was there? Maxine Waters. I believe Elizabeth Warren was there also. Jamie Raskin, as you can see, he was there in the background. But supposedly they went into the headquarters that Elon Musk had went into, and just shut it all down. Okay, send the workers home, and between him or whoever he sent, they started investigating over the weekend, and they found, okay, a whole trail of paperwork where these Democrats are saying that he broke the law. And also on top of that, over the weekend, Elon Musk was given the reins to basically open up the books, okay, to get access to, what was it? Not the IRS, or maybe the IRS, something like that. In other words, he's basically following the money. He's following the paper trail, looking for receipts, following the money of what the Democrats have been spending, of all these organizations that the Biden administration and the Democrats have been funneling money into. And he has come up with some stuff that the Democrats are fighting hard in order to spin all this around and make it seem as if what Elon Musk and President Donald Trump is doing is against the law. And it's not. Okay? And I'll explain why, in my opinion, what they're doing is not against the law. And I know that a lot of people are going to try to pull all kinds of rabbits out their ass. Well, he can't do this because of Section 325 or blah, 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 and what the hell. To me, y'all can just wipe your ass with that paper. Okay? And like I said, I'll explain why. Okay? But without further ado, let's listen to a couple of these clips here with Chuck Schumer and what Hakeem Jeffries has to say. And I want everybody to pay attention. Okay? Listen to every word that these guys are saying, because it's very important. Here we go.
So over the past few days, and Hakeem and I work together really closely and well, and I welcome him to the Senate as he welcomes me to the House, I think. Yeah, okay. Over the past few days, Democrats have warned the American people that DOGE is operating like a shadow government.
Right.
Yesterday, I said that DOGE is not a real government agency. It has no authority to make spending decisions, to shut down programs, or ignore federal law. This is not debatable. This is an indisputable fact. No authority for spending decisions, to shut down programs, or ignore federal law. Yet, Elon Musk took issue with that warning. He said, in answer to a tweet that I said that did this, he said, DOGE, quote, is the one shot the American people have to defeat bureaucracy and restore democracy. Now, give me a break. Nothing screams democracy like having a secret squad of company men pull off a hostile takeover of America's Social Security and tax information in...
Okay, I'm going to stop it. Now, you heard so far the words that he's using, saying that it's a government, basically a government entity, that a shadow government squad, or whatever the hell he's saying, making it seem as if everything that, like I said, that Elon Musk is doing and Trump is doing is against the law. Okay? Yet this man supposedly has been in politics long enough to know that when the president comes out and says, I want this, this, and this, that basically that he has many powers that he can yield, and he doesn't need authority from Congress. Okay? He just goes and writes it down, signs, and says, I need you guys to go and do this. But the Democrats are scared, and they're going to come and use all these words and all these scare tactics and make it seem as if all of a sudden Elon Musk is going in, okay, out of his own free will, and just basically saying, you know what, I'm going to do this. Nobody in their right mind is going to believe that is what's going on. It's not. And if that's what you believe, then you know what? You need to have your head examined, because that is not how it works. But leave it up to Chuck Schumer and the Democrats, okay, the demon rats, to come and switch this all around, because now that they have someone that is not a politician going to investigate, and they know the kind of person that Elon Musk is, that's why Donald Trump hired him, they know that they're all going to be exposed. But let's continue.
The dead of night. That is not democracy, Mr. Musk. That's precise, and yet it's precisely what DOGE is doing. It's letting a small group of unelected people, secret, run rampant through the executive branch, accessing the private data millions of Americans need, and God knows what they're going to do with it. Right. God knows. Mm-hmm. So there are two dangers. One, people's privacy is at stake. Second, that there's a risk that this small group could cut program after program using one excuse or another. So today, Leader Jeffries and I are joining together to push legislation to prevent unlawful meddling in the Treasury Department's payment systems and protect Americans across the country.
Okay, that's what I meant to say, that he was giving free rein to the Treasury Department in order to get receipts to find out what's going on. And this is what has the Democrats running scared. Not that, coupled with the fact that Donald Trump came out and said, I'm gonna have you start up a new branch, basically a new office to go, and I need you to investigate to find out where we can cut spending, where we can cut money, get rid of all the fat, and bring money back into America. Okay? Elon Musk said, okay, let's go down the list and see where a lot of this money is going. Red flags came up that a lot of money was going to U.S. aid. So they went, and Elon Musk, being the smart person that he is, and also the richest man on the planet, you can only get there if you're smart, which basically, in my opinion, he's probably smarter than 90% of all the politicians combined in Washington, but I'm going to digress on that. He came out and found something and said, okay, so now we have to find out how much money went into U.S. aid, okay, and being that the Treasury Department handles all the money, they were like, okay, now we need to get receipts from them and find out how much money did they allocate and for what. And that is what has the Democrats running scared, and you're going to see why. Let's continue.
Our bill aims to do a few simple things. One, to deny access to special government employees that don't have to disclose their conflicts of interest or any other ethic agreements.
Of course.
Two, to deny access to anyone with conflicts of interest or lack of appropriate clearance. And three, include personal tax information into existing privacy protections. We call our legislation Stop the Steal.
Stop the steal. I cannot stand this man. This man is one hell of a snake. Let's listen one more time to what he said about the things they want done, the legislation. I mean, if nobody can read through this, this is the way the Democrats operate. They always try to pass bills in order to benefit them, so like that you can't investigate them. Okay, let me see if I got it on the right spot. Let's listen again.
Of interest or any other ethic agreements.
Hold on.
To special government employees that don't have to disclose their conflicts of interest or any other ethic agreements. Two, to deny access to anyone with conflicts of interest or lack of appropriate clearance. And three, include personal tax information into existing privacy protections. We call...
You see, so basically, they don't have to disclose their tax information. They don't have to tell anybody where they stand on the aisle, if they stand right or left. Okay, and basically, it's just so like that they can say, you know what? You can't investigate us no matter what we do. Okay? And only the freaking Democrats keep thinking like that. And they wonder why people have a hard time trusting the government. What he wants to do is pass a bill that basically anybody in Washington can continue a corrupt agenda and they cannot be investigated. And how they're gonna spin this and say this is for to save democracy. Let me tell you something. I do understand that when you get into government, there are things that are on a need to know basis. I get it. Okay. But there are many more things that should not be hidden from the public. And the Democrats always find a damn way to try to keep stuff in the shadows from the American public. And on top of it, they try to put a spin on it by saying, well, you know what? We have to do that because if not, some other politician is going to come and get into our personal business. You work for the people. The same way the government can go and basically look anybody up from the time they were born to the time they died, that's the same way it should be for politicians. Because the Democrats had no problem digging up dirt on politicians on the right, but now all of a sudden, he wants to go and try to pass a bill that most likely, in all honesty, it's only meant to benefit the Democrats, number one, and the rhinos. Really nobody else, because any other politician, any other Republican, they're more than willing to disclose anything just so they can have the transparency with the American people and gain their trust. But not the Democrats. No, he wants to spin this around to make it seem like, you know what? We're being attacked. We can't have that. We have to pass a bill that will stop people from asking questions so like that they don't know exactly where we stand. And this is one of the problems that Donald Trump had from 2016 to 2020 with all the swamp creatures, okay? And now it's starting all over again. And people wonder why. I shouldn't say people wonder why. The Democrats wonder why they just keep losing. They talk so much about transparency. Joe Biden for 4 years said that he has the most transparent, okay, administration. All the same players are there besides him and Kamala. Okay, the Democrats all touted on that. Yeah, we have the most transparent administration. So now that Joe and Kamala are gone, why can't you keep that transparency going on? Oh, because they thought they were going to win again. That's why. And since they lost, and Donald Trump, the chess player that he is, was already 5-10 steps ahead of them, and decided to put somebody there that basically is not a politician just like him, and came out and said, you know what, you're good with money, you bought Twitter, you gutted it, you saved the billions of dollars for the company, I need you to do a big favor. What? I need you to go find money for the American people. And Elon Musk said, I'll take the job. And there's not a damn thing they can do about it because of my name, my company, and what I can do. And they know this, but they're going to start the smear campaign. They're going to start the vilification. Let's continue.
Our legislation, stop the steal.
Stop the steal. Yeah, that's funny.
Whatever DOGE is doing, it's not democracy. We know what democracy's like. It's out in the open. It's not secret. You do two sides debate, and then the elected officials make decisions.
Right.
Democracy doesn't work in the shadows. Democracy doesn't skirt the rule of law. And it doesn't give special privilege to the ideas and needs of a group of ultra-wealthy people at the expense of American families.
Keep that in mind, people.
Of course we should talk about reform. Reform's a worthy cause. Everyone agrees we should find ways to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of government. But you know what history shows? When it's done in the dark of night, it always leads to bad results.
Keep that in mind, people.
When these DOGE people decide to cut a program, have they even talked to the people who run the program? Have they even done a little research? Have they heard the other side? Or are they just in such rush to cut anything they can so that they can keep tax breaks and give deeper tax breaks to the wealthiest of Americans? Undoubtedly not. They are not checking. They are not debating. They are not doing things in sunlight.
Right.
So, we want reform. We'd like to cut waste, but do it in front of the American people. Hear the arguments. Have the back and forth that has been the hallmark of this republic for over 200 years. You don't have a small group of select people who have little experience across the breadth of government have access to these records and an ability to cut funding.
Of course. All right. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit for the next clip so we can hear what Hakeem Jeffries has to say. But you heard what he says. He talked about don't do stuff at the dead of night. Don't do it in the dark. Bring it out to light. It's all about transparency. You heard all that. Okay? That they're trying to save the taxpayer, the American taxpayer money. That, it sounds all good. Yeah, we got to do this because we are here for democracy to help out the people. We should not be cutting programs without knowing how it's going to affect other people. Blah, 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 blah. You heard all that. We're going to listen to what Hakeem Jeffries has to say. Here we go.
Thank you, Leader Schumer. And before Leader Schumer was a man of the Senate, he was a man of the House. And so we always welcome you back over to the People's Chamber. Democrats...
You sound like Nancy.
Democrats are always ready, willing, and able to work with anyone.
Really?
To find the common ground necessary to solve problems on behalf of hardworking American taxpayers, particularly as it relates to driving down the high cost of living. We understand that America is too expensive. There are far too many hardworking American taxpayers struggling to live paycheck to paycheck. Housing costs are too high. Grocery costs are too high.
No shit.
Child care costs are too high. Insurance costs are too high. Utility costs are too high. America is too expensive. Democrats are committed to driving down the high cost of living for working class Americans, middle class Americans, and everyday Americans all across the land. Our Republican colleagues are not serious about lowering the high cost of living. They've done nothing, introduced not a single bill, not put forth a single policy proposal.
Wow.
They've done nothing as it relates to lowering the high cost of living. At the same time, they are raiding the government,
Right.
attempting to steal taxpayer money.
Okay, you heard that. They're attempting to steal taxpayer money. Oh boy.
That's what the situation at the Treasury Department is all about.
Uh-huh.
We will introduce the Stop the Steal Act in short order to prevent unlawful access with respect to the Department of Treasury's payment system connected to people who are trying to steal personal, sensitive, and confidential information related to Social Security recipients, Medicare recipients, taxpayers, businesses, non-for-profits.
Okay, that's the hook, people. That's the hook right there. Trying to spin all this around saying, oh, that this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to steal information, and they're using, again, a Democrat tactic to try to go after people, okay? Or I should say, just to instill in people's minds that the Republicans are trying to go after some of the most vulnerable. Okay, Social Security recipients, and the list goes on. And that is not the case. That is not what's going on. What they're trying to find out is the money, the billions upon billions, hundreds of billions of dollars that goes missing, especially during the Biden administration. So they need the paper trail. They need to find out where all this money has been going. So they went to the Treasury Department. Since you're the one that's going to cut the checks, who exactly are these checks going to? And that's why they're trying to spin this around. But we got some proof. We're going to finish listening to this, and we're going to see where our tax money, okay, under the Biden administration, just some of it has been going. Let's continue.
Veterans and everyday Americans, it's unacceptable, unconscionable, and un-American. Stop the Steal Act will prevent this unlawful access from taking place. It's unfortunate that many of our Republican colleagues are determined to stand up a shadow government of the billionaires, by the billionaires, and for the billionaires.
Right.
That will stick it to the American people. That's what's driving much of the behavior on the other side of the aisle. Because at the end of the day, my House Republican colleagues are determined to pass massive tax cuts for their billionaire donors and wealthy corporations, and then stick working class Americans with the bill by doing things like ending Medicaid as we know it. We won't stand for it. We will push back against it. And because we're confident that the American people are on our side, we will stop it.
Okay, you heard all that. Right away, they're spinning this around. Trump has already said, he sent his press secretary out there, that no funding will be cut from Medicaid, Medicare, food stamps, welfare, none of that. None of that's going to be cut. What they are going after is the big dogs to find out if we gave you, in other words, if I don't know if anybody's seen JFK's confirmation the other day. Okay, he said it best himself. He said, why is it that we spend hundreds of billions of dollars, okay, on the medical industry, in other words, in healthcare, but yet more and more people are getting sick. More and more people are not being cured. That's because they put all this money into the healthcare system. 90% of it is being pocketed. God only knows where. And when Democrats are in charge, you are not allowed to question it. But now that Trump is in, and he's upholding what he said he was going to do, and he got Elon Musk on his team This is what has the Democrats running scared. Now, you heard everything they say, that they're running a shadow government, that everything that they're doing is unconstitutional, this is not democracy, that they're trying to basically just destroy things and get people's personal information, and it just goes on and on and on, right? And that they have they are trying to be transparent with the people. They know what the American people need because they're suffering. Okay, they're not trying to take anything from the American people. None of that. None of that. But let's look at what Trump's new press secretary has to say to the people of a few things that they found when DOGE decided to go into USAID headquarters and getting help from the Treasury. And it looks like, in my opinion, from everything that I say, it looks like the Treasury Department didn't even say a word. It looked like they were just had the doors open and said, okay, go right ahead. What do you need? All the files? Here they go. Because something tells me the people in the Treasury want nothing to do with what's going on. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here we go.
And I think Elon Musk also has a little bit of common sense. And I think the American people really appreciate that when it comes to the federal government, because it seems like all common sense has been lost in this city. And that's what you see when you look at USAID. I know Secretary Rubio made some comments about how he will be acting as the director over that agency. And here's the reason why Elon Musk and others have been taking a look. Because if you
get ready for this, people,
look at the waste and abuse that has run through USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you.
Did you people hear that? I gotta play this again. I mean, you know, for Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries to go out there and say everything they just said about being transparent with the American people, talking about that Trump is setting up a shadow government to take money from the American people, that the Democrats want to use, that they want to help the American people, they want to help the taxpayers because they know how hard it is out there. Look at where they're sending our taxpayer money to. Look at the things that they are funding. This is just a couple. Supposedly there's like hundreds. Okay? This is what they're doing with our taxpayer money. I can't even go to the government and get a damn loan to work on my truck. The average person cannot even go to the government and get a measly $5,000 to pay for rent or to fix their vehicle or just anything that can help them get a little further. And they're going to go and spend money on this. Let's hear it again.
Comments about how he will be acting as the director over that agency. And here's the reason why Elon Musk and others have been taking a look. Because if you look at the waste and abuse that has run through USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces.
$1.5 million just to push their damn DEI agenda in Serbia.
$70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland.
A musical in Ireland. On how to be diverse, on diversity, equity, and inclusion. In Ireland.
$47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia.
Yeah, because that's what the American people want. They want the people of Colombia to, you know, to be able to go out on a Saturday night and go check out a freaking transgender opera. All on the American taxpayer dime.
$32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru.
Yeah. Because that's what we need. We have to teach the Peruvian children about transgenderism through comic books. Hold on.
I don't know about...
Sorry, folks. I didn't want to leave her there with her mouth open. Trump needs to strip these people's security clearances, and they need to be kicked the hell out of Washington. Okay? And before anybody says anything, before you leave a stupid ass comment talking about, oh, well, the Republicans are just as bad, I'm calling BS on that. You know why? Because when the Democrats were in power, they were not coming out with information like this. They just weren't. All they kept saying was that the Republicans want to line the pockets, and they still say it, of the billionaires. That's all they kept saying. But now we got receipts, okay, on just stuff that is just decadent and just garbage. And yet Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are going to come out and say that they have the people's best interests at heart. Yeah, like every American needs to go to bed at night feeling nice and warm and toasty, that there's some asshole in Peru making transgender comic books. Or that the people in Ireland, and no offense towards Irish people, I mean, those are my brothers and my sisters. I have many in my family, many as friends. But that's what they need. A DEI, what they say, musical or whatever the hell it is, in Ireland. Meanwhile, Ireland is fighting their own battles against the Muslim extremists and the pro-Palestinian protesters. That's what's going on in Ireland. Okay? Like Americans are worried about if the people in Serbia know about DEI. These Democrats they are pushing this evil agenda of transgenderism and DEI worldwide. And it's all on the American taxpayer dollar. Okay? But yet, here's the kicker of it all. All these Democrats are saying that what Trump is doing and what Elon Musk is doing is against the law. They cannot do it. No way, shape, or form. They're trying to overthrow the government with a shadow government. But yet, Biden took it upon himself, okay, to let this organization, with the hundreds of billions of dollars that he basically, and if you don't think he did, then you know what, you have no damn brain. If anybody doesn't think that Biden and the Democrats did not sign off on this money for these programs, just go back under your rock. But yet the Democrats are going to say that what Trump is doing and what Elon Musk are doing is basically against the law and unconstitutional. They have no right. But yet Biden, it was okay for Biden to take our money and do these things. So it was okay for the Democrats to make this organization and put money into these programs that was fully within his right, without the American taxpayer knowing. We didn't take a vote on it. I know I didn't take a vote on it. Maybe the 0.001% of the population that's into this DEI and transgender stuff, maybe they had a little, I don't know, a little vote on it. But did the American taxpayer have a vote on it? No. Did the average person know about it? Nobody knew about this. And this is why the Democrats are running scared. And they're trying to make it seem as if what Donald Trump and Elon Musk are doing is against the law. But what is really against the law? Finding out where our taxpayer money has gone, or you taking our money and funding someone in Peru $30-something thousand to do a comic book on transgenderism. You know, I could only imagine what else Elon Musk is going to uncover. And this is why the Democrats are right now, they're out there protesting. They, and not to mention all the money, and they haven't got all the numbers yet, but it is a lot. All the money that has gone into this organization, USAID, that they have been giving, okay, to illegal immigrants. As a matter of fact, I was watching a piece early this morning where another, I don't know if she was appointed by Trump. Okay, I'm not too sure on that. But she uncovered that the Biden administration spent, I believe it was $88 billion on illegal migrants. And a lot of that money was supposed to go to veterans. And all they used out of that money for the veterans was anywhere between $5 and $8 billion. But they spent over $80 billion on migrants, on the illegal migrants that have come to America. So our taxpayer money that we want to go to good things like helping homeless veterans or veterans that need all kinds of medical care, whatever the case is, their families that need help. Nope, they only got, what? Not even 10% of all the money that was collected. Just like in Chicago. You can't fix up the schools or the broken down neighborhoods or get more police to crack down on the drugs and the crime and the criminals. Nope. You have to spend the bulk of that on illegal immigrants. Same thing in California. Same thing in Colorado. Same thing in New York. And now Elon Musk is uncovering all this, and the Democrats are using every damn tactic, every old tactic in the book. I'd like to know, and I'll be honest with you, because you know it's coming, people. You know it's coming. People are going to come out the woodwork. Elon Musk did this. Elon Musk did that. 20 years ago, 25 years ago, 35 years ago, before the man was born. He did this. He did that. They're going to come out with everything in the book after this man. They know they can't do it with Trump. They've tried everything in the book with him. Nothing's going to stick. Now they're going to try to go after Elon Musk. And this is why I said that the Democrats have Elon Musk in their crosshairs. Not in the real sense, like they're going to try to hurt him, okay? But what they're going to try to do is just basically character assassinate him. And they're going to try to get as many people as they can and pull on their heartstrings to say he's uncovering all this is going to affect many people. What the people are not understanding is that if they took in $100 and put into U.S. aid, they're only going to give back about 10% to the American taxpayer, the ones whose minds they're eating up. The rest is going to all these programs. But one more thing, and I'll wrap it up. The people need to understand did all that money really go just to the 4 programs that that this woman said? It's just like the $50 million that they sent to Hamas for condoms. I did a little research on that, wondering why, even though I did a video on it, like why would they do that? Supposedly, and I have to find more, and if anybody has a link that they can send to me, leave it in the comments. Supposedly, the reason why they sent them that is because that Hamas uses the condoms in order to make some sort of homemade bombs or whatever the case is. I don't know. But let's just say, for instance, that is true. Let's just say, for instance, that is true. Now that begs the question. Who in the hell was Biden trying to help? Hamas or Israel? And if it ain't true, where was all that money going to go? To who? Where did all this money go to? Did the money really go to some comic book creator in Peru? Did the money really go to some theater in Ireland? Did the money really go to some organization in Serbia? Or I'm sorry, I'm all tongue-tied. Or are all these supposed programs just titles for them to keep laundering money? And yet they want to say, the Democrats, that they are trying to do what's best for the people, and what Donald Trump and Elon Musk are doing is a shadow government move. Unfreaking believable. The sad part is, many people are still going to believe what Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are saying. They don't want to see the truth. Because what the Democrats have done, they have instilled so much hate into people that no matter, there are so many people out there that no matter what you show them, what you tell them, it's too late for them. They will not open up their eyes. They just won't. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. So remember, people, stay vigilant. Keep praying. Keep praying for each other. Keep praying for the women and the children. Pray for this country. Pray for your enemies. Pray for Donald Trump. And again, don't forget to pray for all the missing children. Peace.